Can't really see much. The water's muddy. You have no idea what you're walking into. You could walk into a fence, a hole.
You couldn't really hear too much, just wading through sort of an eerie silence.
We wear wetsuit, helmet, boots, gloves.
Life jacket and a throw bag.
Yeah.
Good to roll. My name's Jason Harvey. I'm a retail store manager.
And I'm Amanda Penhall, and I work in construction.
When record-breaking floods hit the mid-coast town of Taree, a small squad of locals known as VRA Rescue left behind their jobs and families to join the emergency response.
Called up by the police or other services for road crash, animal rescue, assist other services like ambulance, fire and rescue, police.
We're on call 24/7. That phone rings and we just go, no matter what time it is.
Mandy's a grandma who's been a volunteer rescuer for 10 years. Her family was one of thousands cut off at the peak of the floods, yet without hesitation, she swung into action.
We had warnings it was going to be major. Tuesday afternoon, we knew we were in for a big one.
Over the next 5 days, the team of 24 volunteers would go on to perform around 120 rescues, welfare checks, evacuations and medical drops in the flood-ravaged region.
You're like zooming in with the rescue truck, and some had cats in cages, dogs on leads, and so you just leave them at the evac centre and off you go again.
I slept for an hour and a half on the Tuesday night, I think. Got back here after a rescue and I slept in the back of our truck, and then I got woken for another rescue.
When people are needing rescue and you're a rescuer, you can't just go to sleep. You want to just help everyone.
Because this is our community we live in as well. These are people that you see every day and people that we might go to work with or see at work that are now probably having one of the worst days of their lives.
With streets turning into rivers, they relied on a non-motorised boat called an Archangel to ferry stranded people to safety.
But there was a lot of times where we actually had to swim as well while dragging the boat.
Plus you got contaminants in the water.
Yeah, dirty water.
Some we did in the industrial area, cars had lost their transmission fluid and their fuel. It's the worst thing probably about floodwater is it's literally everything's washed into that water and you can't see it because it's not crystal clear.
What I'd like you to do is try and spin your feet around over the side, okay?
We done a rescue on farmland and our feet were getting tangled up. The wind was blowing so hard that we couldn't paddle the Archangel.
With floodwaters rising rapidly, they weren't sure if they'd make it in time to evacuate a woman with dementia.
She was in her 80s and just a farmer. The road was closing, floodwater just coming in all around us. It was like now or never, and we just got the Archangel off the roof and just swam across farmland about 600 metres, and we rescued her out of a house that went under in 2021, so would have gone under again for sure.
I rescued the 6-week-old baby from the second story of a house that sits on the Manning River. I took the baby and the mother first and just straight over the railing on the veranda, straight down into the boat as that water was just starting to reach that second level.
Jason has 2 young kids and says it was a medical drop rather than a rescue that hit him hardest. A mother isolated by floodwaters was about to run out of specialised baby formula for her 6-month-old.
The mother came out holding the little boy, and he was obviously distressed and she was quite distressed and told us that she'd been rationing the formula. So even though that's not as dramatic as a swiftwater rescue, it's almost affects you in a different way, just knowing the baby isn't in any danger from water, but is in danger from starving.
The hardest thing I saw was people that were underprepared or didn't think that it was going to be quite as bad as it was.
Because when we were door knocking and saying there's been an order given, we're not the authority to move them on. Then when they don't, and then turn around 12 hours later and go, oh, where are you, where are you? That's probably the hardest. So.
You good?
Brock's captain of the tight-knit rescue squad and says the flood event pushed them all to their physical and emotional limits.
It is a bit challenging going home and putting on that brave face and pretending you haven't just seen the things that you've seen.
When it's all done and dusted and all over is when everything catches up with you a bit. You see a lot of family, friends that are just suffering and will suffer for a long time.
You think about how lucky I was compared to some of the other people up here, definitely, and how quick life can change.
So why do they do it?
To make a positive difference.
Just to help. That's all we can do.
Would we do it again? Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not,
But if we had to do it again, we would be prepared.
Oh, yeah, I'd give them a hug. Amazing.
Just extraordinary people, and to think of how traumatising that experience is for the whole community, and that they have the wherewithal to go, I'm just going to push down my own stuff and keep moving. I take my hat off to them. I think they're amazing.
I think that's forgotten. It's like, because these are superheroes that go in and risk their lives, right? And you just think they're bulletproof, and you can see there just how it actually does stay with them, and there is that toll.
Totally.